Okay, so Jeff, you've had the opportunity to play with who I would say is the greatest bass player of all time in Jaco, and
Yes.
one of the top 10 technically gifted guitar players in Allan Holdsworth. So I'm going to let you pick who you want to talk about more. But I'm curious about what was it like to play with those artists?
My experience with Jaco was one afternoon playing at MI. We jammed on a tune called Invitation. We knew of each other for years. We had never met. And some of my best friends were his best friends, but we never met. We ended up that day, somebody invited him for a clinic at MI, and I was invited to play, so we just played a duet.
It's on YouTube, by the way, and it's killer. It's so good.
It's an interesting capture of that moment. I mean, if I had to do it now, I would change my bass tone. There's a few things I'd fix, but
Yeah.
you could hear that there was a locking of the concept of time. If we had a drummer and a guitar player and six horns and a string section, we would all have to join. So we just joined as a duet, and it was nice. It was very nice. He was a lovely guy with me, very deferential. I was in awe because he's a bass hero, literally the guy that started just about everything that is used in music today. His flavor, his thread is in just about everything. And okay, and Allan Holdsworth, we met in Bill Bruford's band. No, actually, I met him at Tony Williams' house, and
That's such a flex.
I was asked to join that trio, but I was not. Like I said, I packed my bags and went to study up with Charlie out of New York. I left a career behind because I had to learn more. It was urgent. It was burning. I mean, I feel like one of those guys where God comes down, you will go to Boston because I had to do it. So with Allan, I went to Tony's. I was invited to join that trio, and I said no because I wasn't good enough. I wasn't ready, and I knew it. And but I had this, which at the time was a little rare. So
When you're shaking your hand back and forth, what do you mean? You said what do you,
technique and the ability to play lines relatively easily. I had
okay.
the time. I could play a groove. You know, I could play a groove. I could play a groove because it was mandatory, but I wasn't a good player. And I knew Tony Williams, and
Yeah.
then I heard this guitar genius. I said, "Ciao, guys. I don't deserve to be here," and I didn't. And and then I met him in Bill's band, and then he came to America, and we decided to play together.
What was your were there any challenges with playing somebody like that, like as opposed when there's like an improviser like backing them up? Like he is so all over, not all over the place in a bad way, but just like his improvisations are just so different than most guitar players and improvisers. Was there any issue as far as playing behind him?
No, because what he did was function in this area of sound. And although I was up the neck sometimes, I functioned in this area of sound. We never did this. And that's why sometimes piano and bass solos can be a little bangy. Like I could play outside harmony a little bit on the bass, and if the pianist is comping in a certain way, my sonics are banging with him. I'll sound out of time. Allan played up here, I played down here. So there was never an incursion into each other's sound area. There's a word and I can't recall it. Sound space.
Yeah.
So therefore, we just sort of continued like this. You follow?
Mm-hmm.
And we never crossed. So there was nothing he played could impact on my playing, whereby I might impact more with him because if I change the bass note, which is my want, I like doing that, at least in the artful pursuits that I endeavor to do. If it's a G and I'm playing an F sharp, he might hear that and do this and relate to it. So I might have affected maybe his playing a little more than he might have affected mine when he was soloing.